welcome to Tea Time with Miss Liz. That's right, it's tea time, guys, and it's evening tea. So, in the studio, I have an amazing man that I got to meet on Clubhouse, which we will be talking about and getting into what Clubhouse is really all about. And he's got some really good, juicy stories to tell us and how it has changed his life, because it has changed mine, because that's how I got to meet this incredible man. So I'm going to share a little bit on Morris the Connector, and then he's going to get in there and he's going to share and he's going to motivate and inspire all of you viewers out there. So Morris is here to wear your own crown. He's here to inspire people to wear their crown. He wants to show you how his son's death saved his life, so he's now able to save millions of lives. From drug dealer, and now he's a game changer. He's a life coach that can show you how to get the best out of yourself with his program called The Incredible You, which will show you how to get unstuck and connect with the real you. We are born leaders, kings and queens. It's about finding your gift and purpose in life and then serving with it. Life happens to you, not to you. He used to say, "Why me?" when he was in his darkest hours and stuck. Now he says, "Try me." He can now switch on your light the way he has switched back on his light, or to get you unstuck. He's an inspirational speaker that has shared of hard knocks. He has found his true purpose and gift in life. He's here to serve with his knowledge and wisdom and to connect with like-minded people. He once also got asked to tell his life story on one of the largest radio stations in London called the BBC. You can listen to that on his website, which is in the comments below. He has also been asked to attend 10 Downing Street to talk about the kids and knife crime. He is a business owner of a chauffeur company called Elite Executive Services Ltd. that has driven some of the biggest pop stars in the world. Clients like Justin Bieber, Beyonce, Whitney Houston, Usher, Raymond, and many more. To reach him, I will put all of his contact numbers and all that into the comments as well. He also wants to open a school in Ecuador. No, not Ecuador. Ethiopia. For orphan kids. We need to realize that the kids never asked to be here. They are also futures of the world. He is looking for like-minded people that share his vision and mission, which is to get the resources out of Ethiopia for the children. We have that in common too. We'll get into that. So they can become champions in the world. He has a nonprofit organization called Morris the Connector, CIC. Anyone who wants to join his team, feel free to contact him. And you can find all of that good stuff on his bio on the Miss Liz's page and on the YouTube channel. All that information is there. So Morris, welcome to Tea Time. It is an honor to have you here. And it is an honor how I met you. So how did it all begin? Tell the backstory of who Morris the Connector is.
Morris the Connector was in the darkness. Now he's in the light. He's seen the light. His light's been switched on. And I want to say to all you viewers that's listening, this is about pain to power. It's about me as a person that didn't know himself. But the greatest thing in life is not what we get out of life. It's who we become. And I'm going to tell my story, which is my glory. And we all have a story because you are the pen and paper of your story. And you could play the victim or you could play the hero. I believe you will see I'm a hero now because I'm now walking in the footsteps of God and I can see the light clearly. It's become clearer and clearer. But let me tell you about my story. We're all kings and queens. Let me just tell you that. And wear your own crowns, one of my hashtags. Because are you wearing your crown, I would say. But I had trouble with that. I grew up with my mum and 5 siblings. My dad left home when I was 7 years old. I struggled with that. But then fast forward till I was about 13 years old, going to school, I was a disruptive kid because, discipline was not one of my best things to do at school. But my teacher was bullying me at school. Funny enough, it wasn't the kids, it was my teachers bullying me, putting me in a corner, telling me I wouldn't be nothing in life and things like that. What a horrible thing to say to a kid at that age. But fast forward, I left school with no confidence, no belief in myself, not even knowing what I wanted to do with my life. In society in the 70s, it was a case of You know, people of my color had to struggle even to get a job. I did try, but there always seemed to be a barrier there when I was trying. But fast forward, my friends was selling drugs, so I joined with them, started selling drugs. And they say money is the root of all evil, but it's not. It's the love of money. And I started to make a lot of money. And I started to feel good about what I was doing because I was able to help my siblings out and buy some wonderful things at that time, I would say. So I was enjoying that environment. But there comes a time in your life where, you know, you have to look at yourself and see and say to yourself, am I doing the right thing? And my time came, I went to jail and I come out of jail and I continued doing what I was doing. I've done that for 12 years, people, 12 years. But a catalyst happened in my life. And I'm sure something has happened in many of your lives where you have to sit up and stand up and look up. But my catalyst was when my 18-month-old son passed away, called Dwayne. He died in a tragic accident at home. And when I found out that, I just didn't want to be here no more. My mind started playing tricks on me. I didn't want to be here. It was almost like I wanted to commit suicide because I only hugged him about 10 times. I'm going to be sincere with you today. I hugged him about 10 times, maybe less, because in the clubs, partying, drinking and smoking. My mum always used to say to me, Morris, come to church. And I would say to her, listen, Mum, I ain't got enough time to go to church because I love partying and drinking, smoking marijuana and things like that. But in this time, I was seeking, I was knocking. They say in the Bible, seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open. And I was knocking, people. I was knocking because I wanted to change my mindset. I eventually went to church. And when I went to church, I started to enjoy it. Funny enough, I started to enjoy it. I was used to people in the nightclubs dancing and all that, but I started to enjoy that environment. And I'm going to say to every one of you, in your darkest hours, focus on the light because you are the light. You know, adversity introduces a man and woman to themselves. It introduced me to myself. And I continued taking the steps in working. I just wanted to be somebody now. After going to church for a while and starting to believe that I could do something different, I started to work. So I started to do all different mineral jobs and things like that. Eventually, it led me to having like a clothes shop. And then my missus was running this clothes shop and I started to do some couriering. From doing the couriering, I started to do some executive driving. What I'm trying to say, a momentum built up. So once you start doing something and you start to enjoy it, even if you don't like it at that time, just enjoy it until you can reach where you want to get. And what happened to me, I met a man called Steve when I joined this executive car company. All drivers used to drive him and I used to drive him sometime. And one day he said to me, Morris, you're more than a driver. And I thought to myself, at that time I didn't know what he meant. But going on through my journey, I know what he meant. He's seen in me somebody that could be the person I am now. He's seen in me what I didn't see in myself because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't know myself. So eventually he was setting up a hedge fund company because he worked for a hedge fund company, like a banking company that done investments. And I said to him, I could set up a chauffeur company that deals with your clients. And I went on working, setting up that chauffeur company that now drives Justin Bieber, Beyonce, Whitney Houston's tour I done, and things like that. What I'm trying to say to you people, I never believed that I could ever even have a company, but I took the footsteps by believing in God that he had my back and he had something for me to do, you know, and I continue doing that. This may trigger, but we can't stop what's going to happen in our life because changes happen. Progress doesn't. Everything changes around us, but progress doesn't. And I made the progress to that step, but it doesn't stop what's going to happen in our life. But once you believe in God, I'm telling you this, he's got your back. And I started to believe that now I was on this journey, it got stronger and stronger. I started to see the light clearer and clearer. I started to have clarity in what I wanted to do in my life. But what happened is in 2007, my sister passed away. In 2010, my mum passed away. In 2011, my dad passed away. In 2015, my girlfriend, she committed suicide. She passed away. She left two kids, a 13-year-old and an 18-year-old. What I'm saying to you is I had to go through all that, but I believed in God that he had my back. And it was in 2015 I wanted to commit suicide when my girlfriend passed away. And I went through about 2 months of depression. And I can remember being in my bed and saying, why me, God? Why me? Why all of this? Why do I have to go through all of this? But now I say, try me, people, because I can see clearly now. I can see that God was chipping at me, chipping at me. I'm telling you, life is plastic, but he was molding me. And we get molding, people, because it's not seeing is believing, it's believing in seeing. And I believed that God had a purpose for me. So I continued in the footsteps of believing that he had a purpose for me. And it wasn't until about after I was coming out of the depression, a friend of mine said to me, Morris, can you come and tell your story on a platform about how you was able to set up your chauffeur company? I said, yes. And what I'm going to say to every one of you, in life, you have to be fearless. Fear is a word proclaiming to be real. But you have to be fearless in life. Then your life becomes limitless. Because I was fearless. I'd never been on stage before. And I said yes to this lady. And the time came, I went there with my son to speak on stage in front of 150 people about how I was able to set up my company, because there was a lot of business people there that wanted to know how to set up a company and things like that. I went up there and spoke my truth. I said, good evening, everyone. I've never done nothing like this in my life, but this is my first time. My teacher said I wouldn't be nothing in life. And they started to clap. And I told them a bit of my story, how I came from nothing to setting up the chauffeur company that now drives some of the biggest pop stars in the world. And when I came off stage, they said that was very inspiring, Morris. The next day, I had a phone call from a guy called Andrew. He said to me, Morris, can you come up to my school and tell your story to the kids that are going through their GCSEs? I said, yeah, sure. He said, how much do you want? I said, nothing. I don't want nothing, man. I'll come and do it for free. I went there in front of the kids and I spoke to them. And what I basically was saying to them, in every follower, there's a leader. Get a progressive idea, kids, and study at school. And once you love that and you like that, that can become your gift and your purpose, and you'll start to thrive in that and become that. And I'm not going to say to every one of you, if you enjoy something, keep doing it, and it will happen for you. Don't care about when. Worry about what you're doing to make it happen, because it will happen. And I'm talking from my heart now. I'm really passionate about this, because that's what's led me to where I've got to here now. And I started to go to schools. I went to about 7, 8 schools, and that I've done a couple of seminars. And it was one day when I was at home sitting down quiet, because we need quiet times, people, so we can hear our thoughts. We can hear our spirit talking to us, because that's what we need. Listening to ourself, our inner self. That's why I call myself Morris the Connector, because I'm now connected to myself. And I was listening one day to myself, and a voice said to me, Morris, this is what God wants you to do. He wants you to go out there and inspire people with your story. Tell your story about what you are doing with your life. And I'm going to say to you, people, it's not seeing is believing, it's believing is seeing. And I believe that God was molding me to be this person that I am now. And I took the steps in going to schools now and everything like that. And now I'm also going to set up a school in Ethiopia, a school in London for alternative learning, so the kids could learn life skills, empowerment. Maths and English is needed. But what about the kids, giving the kids what they love to do? Because I believe if I was given something when I was at school that I loved, I would have thrived at it. But when you put a kid in the corner and tell him he wouldn't be nothing in life, that kid will rebel against that. But my school is going to primarily be for that. So my life now is getting fulfilled with the love that will transcend me to the next stage in my life, to eternity, because it's not what we get out of life, it's who we become. And I become this person where it's not about me no more, it's about me serving. Because many of us wonder, why are we here in this world? I'm going to tell you why we're here in this world. We're here to serve and surrender our love and show compassion to everyone that we meet. Each one supposed to teach one. And I'm telling you, everyone has a different purpose, a different gift. We have a different fingerprint, right? Handprint, footprint, but we all have a gift to serve with. We've all got something, a blueprint and a philosophy that can teach somebody how to get through, because we're either in a storm, people, going through a storm, or coming out of a storm. But I'm telling you this, right? We're here to win. We either win or we learn. That's what it's about. We win or we learn. And I'm going on and upwards now, believing in myself, and amazing things are happening in being in Clubhouse. an app that you could get on your phone or anywhere. Where in Clubhouse I'm meeting like-minded people like Liz here, amazing woman I met on there that's invited me on there to share my story, which is my glory. And your story is your glory. Remember, people, it's about you. It's about you finding yourself, connecting with yourself and knowing who you are before you can give any love out. When your cup of tea or whatever is overflowing, then you can give back. You can't give back when you're half full. When you have love in your heart, I'm telling you, with love, there's no hate. And I'm just here to inspire you people, to show you there's no difference between me and you. I just took the steps in believing, and every step of the way, I got knocked down. I got back up again. I got knocked down. I got back up again. You know why? Because I believed that no matter what, we're here. We've got the will that God has got. We have to embrace things. We have to show resilience and go on and on and on. And then we'll get there. We'll get there, people. You have to start wearing your crown. And what I want to say to you is, my company now, I have a non-profit company, CIC, which I want to get resources out to Ethiopia for the kids in Ethiopia, where I went about 4 months ago. I went to Ethiopia because my daughter teaches out there. And I went out there, and to see the kids, they had to share a pen, pencils and things like that. If you look in my Instagram, I went and bought all of 50 of them resources, pens, pencils, books, and everything, to see the joy in their heart, the smile on their face that I gave them. I came back to England and I said to myself, before I die, I don't care if no one helps me. Before I die, I'm going to make sure my vision and mission, and that's what you need in life, because vision is your direction, people. I've got my direction, is to get resources out to Ethiopia, to them kids in Africa, so they can be leaders of this world and champions, because they never asked to be here. And we have it here. Even £1 will do. You could put into my Cash App or into an account that I have, a GoFund and things like that, to help with what I'm doing. And Clubhouse is a wonderful app because I'm meeting amazing people out there. I've met somebody that wants to do a story, a film of my story. I've met someone that's writing a book for me, that's my niece. My niece is ghostwriting my book. And I also just got asked to co-host a show in America on Apple TV. So that's what I'm trying to say to you, people. Believe in yourself, right? Trust in yourself. No matter what you go through, you could go through it, because life is happening for you, not to you. Life was happening for me. My sons that died, that pain I went through. Give me more pain, God, I would say, because it's made me be this person I am, speaking to you lot today and saying, no matter what, your pain is your gain. Because would I be the person I am today? I don't think so. Would I know myself? And that's what I'm trying to say. Adversity introduces a man or a woman to yourself. Pain, embrace that pain, because that pain will carry you to where you need to go in your life, because you're here for a reason, people. None of us gets out alive. None of us gets out alive. It's what we do before we leave here that counts. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best ever. Every day I'm happy. Thank God for that. And some people say, Morris, how could you be happy every day? You know what I've got to say to that? I make sure. So make sure, people, from today, make sure you're happy every minute of the day. Live in the moment. Don't worry about tomorrow. That will take care of itself. The secret about getting ahead is getting started. Get started today. I'm Morris the Connector. I've done speaking. That's what we say on Clubhouse. Right?
I don't know. They changed it, because I was in a room last night and they were changing it. And I was like, what?
That's what they say on Clubhouse, man. But listen, people, life is plastic, man. You can mold, you could go one way or the other. And I'm telling you, life is here for you, man. I embrace everything now. Nothing can lock me down. I reckon I've got the weapons of mass destruction now, because what I've been through, listen, man, you can get through it too. There's no difference between me. It's only that my mind overcomes it. It doesn't become it. It overcomes it. Do you understand that? Seeing is believing. No, it's believing is seeing. We have to conceive, believe, then we achieve. So let's go ahead today, people, and do what's necessary to get what we need to get out of this life here. Thank you, Liz, for having me here.
Oh, not a problem, Morris. And I promised you guys that he would inspire you, he would motivate you guys. And I want the viewers out there to understand that pain is our purpose. Without our pain, we are not who we are. You know, we all go through something. And this is how I connected with Morris, is I heard him speaking in a room and I reached out to him because his story resonated with mine. The loss of a child resonated. The pain, I could hear the pain in your voice, but you were inspiring with that pain as well, Morris. And that's why I connected, and that's why I reached out. And I wanted to get to know a little bit more on Morris the Connector, on why you feel you're connecting with yourself now than before. Was there like a moment where you woke up and you were like, you know what, it's time to connect with myself?
No, life happens for you, but it's a journey. When we're born, I believe we're dying. I can talk about this clearly now. That's why I can teach people, because I understand it and I overstand it, I say. So I can go back. They say once a man, twice a child. I'm like a child again. I'm a child of God. Nothing bothers me. I'm happy every day. And how I got to this point is on my journey, I suffered. Yes, I suffered. I can look back and say I suffered, but God was molding me. He was chipping away at me. And I'm telling you, people, anybody that's going through pain, he's chipping away at you. You embrace it. It doesn't stay the same. Pain, it doesn't stay the same. Nothing stays the same. Things change. And on my journey, what was happening to me, I was giving trouble at school, leaving school, becoming a drug dealer, when I look back, I manifested. I was one of the big drug dealers in London. But in that environment, you're faced with things that you have to deal with in that environment. I'm not even going to go in there, you know what I mean? And deal with things in that environment, in the gang life and things like that. So what I'm trying to say, when my son passed away, my mindset changed. My mind changed. I started to believe in God, you know what I mean? So I left that alter ego, Morris, Starboy. That was my nickname, Starboy, street name, gangster name. And I left that behind and started to become spiritual. And when I changed, everybody thought I'd gone mad. This is what society has for you. I left that. It's 30 years I haven't smoked marijuana. It's 30 years I haven't drank alcohol. And people say, why? Why? And I have to say to them, listen, you never drink as much drink as I've drank and smoke as much drugs as I smoke. I don't need that. I buzz off of life. So on my journey now of working and enjoying my working and eventually setting up the chauffeur company and then going on from there and setting up other businesses and things like that till I became like a coach. After going to the schools, like I said, and one day being at home, funny enough, it was The Secret I was listening to on YouTube. And I sat there listening to The Secret. And then afterwards I said to myself, but Morris, you're the secret. You are the secret. Because everything you've done, I've never seen The Secret before, but everything on my journey which I've done was The Secret, what The Secret talks about. Getting in line with yourself, believing in yourself, and trusting in everything you do. That's what The Secret's about. So I said, you're the secret. So I started to listen to Les Brown and get coaching lessons. So I'm a certified coach now. And I started to do seminars, going to schools, inspiring the kids. And that's when the name Morris the Connector came. It came because I felt connected to myself, knowing the possibilities, and just wanting to serve now, not wanting to do nothing like I used to do, just wanted to give back. Do you know what I mean? With my love. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to give back. You know what I mean? So that's where Morris the Connector came from. And I set up a company doing that and stuff like that. Because I'm connected to the light now, the source. I send out the right vibrations. I get the energy and the power to give back. Because it's not about the pain I suffered. It's who I am now.
Exactly.
So it's not about then. I'm riding on a first-class spiritual journey right now. And every one of us, let's enjoy the ride. Yeah. Just enjoy the ride by believing in yourself. Never mind about the naysayers and people the dream catchers. They say imagination is everything. It's your view to your life coming attraction. So if you dream big, people. Don't let no one come and say to you, you cannot. Because someone that says they can and cannot, they're both right. And some people, they can't see your dream. God has given you your dream. I dreamt, I manifested, I wanted to have a talk show. I manifested, I wanted to have a company that sets up and gets the resources out to Ethiopia. Everything I manifested has come to me because I believed in it strongly that I can do it. And I'm saying to every one of you, you can. You get. You do it. And you get it.
It's the words, right? It's the words we use too, you know, the mindset. We've got to change our mindset. When we say pain as our purpose, we're not saying that we live in our pain all the time and we play that pity victim. We stand on our stories. We know what happened to us, but it doesn't mean we have to stay there, you know, and that's why we share and we continue to grow. And it's like Morris said, we are serving. We're good with serving. You know, it isn't about the money. It isn't about the big fame and lights and all that. Those things will happen because we manifest them. We work our butts off to get them, you know. And Morris has really made a big impact. Like I've been listening to him. I've been joining some of his rooms that he has, like Crown, Wear Your Crown. The people that are sharing in that room, Morris, are inspiring, motivating. The stories that I've been hearing, they are empowering people. You are an empowerment, you know. And I just want to thank you for honestly coming on my stage and sharing your story and that, and knowing that you matter, you make a difference in that. So a little bit of tea time. I know how you feel about tea time because I seen an earlier interview. So.
No, I do.
So I'm going to ask you, Morris, what kind of tea do you like?
I like ginger tea and sorrel tea and herbal tea. I used to drink tea when I was younger. My mum used to give me. I used to do many things when I was younger, but life changes and you get to enjoy what you want. And I enjoy drinking ginger tea and lemon and ginger tea, sorrel tea, tamaric and ginger tea, and stuff like that. So it's still tea. Tea's tea, yeah. It's not called English tea. It's called Morris tea.
There you go. So what does Morris think of tea?
I love tea. I must drink maybe about 7 cups of tea a day.
Oh, that's
tea.
Good.
I love a cup of tea up when I finish here. Do you know what I mean? Because I love tea, yeah.
So if I gave you the 3 letters, TEA, Morris, what words come to mind for those 3 letters?
TEA?
Yeah.
I would say time, because God has given us time to find ourselves here. Everyone has time. Do you understand? I had time to find myself. Do you understand? To move on, to find that love. It's a journey, people. It's a journey of falling over. Winston Churchill said this, where either success isn't final. Success isn't final, right?
Yeah.
And failure isn't fatal. It's the courage we show to come back over and over. So God has given us time to find ourselves. We have to find ourselves. As babies, we're dropping and falling over, getting up, falling over, getting up. And then eventually we're walking, talking. But we reach a certain stage in our life where we just stop. Okay. Do you understand? Because of the way of the world. Then we have to find ourselves again. So it's time. And then to the E, I would say E is empowerment.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, E is empowerment. I feel so empowered. And I want to empower people by showing people that they too have a purpose in this world and have a gift. And if you're in your darkest house, to focus on the light. Sometimes people are just stuck. They just need some encouragement. Every successful businessman, every successful athlete has a coach. But yet we don't have a coach. We don't have somebody. We have people, toxic people, telling us how to lead our life. Find someone, people, that you can connect with. Because if you're the smartest in your group, you need a new group. Right? Find people that can empower you and show you, like on Clubhouse. It's like a mastermind. Everybody's sharing and caring. I get empowered and inspired by people in my room when I have my rooms on Clubhouse. It's amazing. And that's what we need, empowerment. And then I would say attitude. I would say attitude. I say because every successful businessman has the right attitude. You have to have the right attitude. I've got the right attitude now. I had the wrong attitude back in the darkest days when I was a drug dealer. My attitude was I wanted to be a drug dealer. I wanted to make money. But success isn't the money, the big car, their house. Success is me speaking to you. Success when I go to the kids at school, I say to them, listen, I'm successful now because I'm here speaking to you kids and I'm loving it. That's success. When you find something you love and you're giving back, that's success. When you connect to yourself and you know yourself and you're not fighting with yourself. We're our worst enemies. We don't listen to ourselves. We fight with ourselves and say, no, I'm going to do that. You know it's wrong. You're going to go and do it. And then you say to yourself, because every outcome, there's a fault behind it. The attitude is most important. Change the habits will change you. Sometimes we say drinking and smoking, we say drinking and smoking, an alcoholic or a drug addict. But what about the habits that we have in ourselves that determines the outcome that we don't even like? If we've got to check ourselves, have times to check ourselves and change. Baby steps to change. It took me 30 years to be here talking to you like this with this knowledge. So attitude. And I've got the attitude of a lion. A lion gets up every day. And I get up every day and I say, I can, I must, and I will. And I show gratitude and I thank God for breathing. And when I'm thanking God for breathing, I'm smiling because I know I'm going to make it happen today. And that's the attitude of a lion. He gets up and he goes and hunts for his food, for his family. Yeah. And then you have a gazelle. The gazelle gets up and says, I've got to run and hide today because the lion's coming up after me. He's going to eat me today. So what are you people? Are you a gazelle or are you a lion? That's what I want to know. Let's go and hunt today and every day. That's the attitude I have.
And I love it because every tea time guest is different. And I love it. Time, empowerment, attitude. I love it. You have just made my tea really, really special today. So Morris, a little bit more on the children. What is it about the children and what change do you want to make to the children's lives?
The kids are dear to my heart. I lost kids. I'm feeling it now, but never mind. But the kids are dear to my heart because
you can shed a tear. I'm not gonna.
No,
we cry, we laugh, we do everything on TV.
Yeah. I can hold it because I've got a callus there. Anything happens in my life, I've got a force field there. I've got a force field there. It's not like I don't feel nothing, but I've got a force field there where I don't let it overcome at times. Do you know what I mean? Because what I'm trying to say to you people is we get thousands of thoughts every day. Let's hold on to a happy thoughts. That's what I say. You are the light. The light is shining bright. Hold on to something that shines bright in your life. Think of the good things, not the bad things. Become the good. Don't become the bad. Think of, if I say to you, smile now, people, smile, and you'll all feel good about that. You can change your expressions. You can change how you feel just like that by doing certain things. But let's get back to the kids. The kids are dear to my heart because the way I grew up. I grew up with my teacher saying I wouldn't be nothing in life, put me in a dark corner, and I'm making a film and I'm going back to that school and I'm going to go back to that place where that teacher put me into the corner and go and have a look. And it's been 45 years. About 45 years. Yeah, about 44 years now. I left that school. Do you know what I mean? I'm 59. I was 59 last week, right? 59 years old.
I missed your birthday.
Yeah, I was 59. So I'm going back to the school and I'm going to go there and have a look at that because the story stems from that. It stems from that teacher telling me I wouldn't be nothing in life. I wish he could see me now because if you had told me I would be going to 10 Downing Street, which is the Prime Minister's place, if you had told me I would have a chauffeur company that drives some of the biggest pop stars in the world, if you had told me I'll be writing a book, if you had told me that I'll be having co-hosting a TV show in America, if you had told me I'm going to be opening schools for the kids for alternative learning and in Ethiopia, and if you had told me I'll be a transformation coach and an inspirational speaker, I would have said, get out my face. Do you understand? But life is happening for us. And I've reached this point now where I can give back. And going to Ethiopia, I was already going to open a school here for alternative learning anyway, for the kids here. But my daughter moved to Ethiopia last year, and she graduated. She graduates in 2 months. She graduates. She was doing her university over there. And I went to a school that she asked to teach English at. And that was dear to my heart. Do you understand? It was dear to my heart in seeing the kids not having the resources and how smart they was. I'm telling everyone, if you go in my bio, you can see my bio of my Instagram, some interviews that I've done with the kids, and me, you can see them being happy when I handed them the resources of pens, pencils, books that I bought them. And to see that, and to see the kids suffered, orphan kids, some of them can't go to school. That's why they're dear to my heart, because that's what we're here for. We're here to serve each other. And if the world was like us, and many of us in Clubhouse, right? Clubhouse is an amazing app. I believe God, that came from God, because a lot of people in there are people of purpose.
Yeah.
That want to share. And if the world was like that, there'll be no war, man, because it will be just pure love. So that's why the kids are dear to my heart. I just want to give back so I could look and see and say, yes, look at that kid. He's a champion. He's a leader now. And I helped do that before I die. I'm going to see that. I'm not going to die before that.
Yeah.
Or leave this world before that, because we don't die. We move on to eternity. But
I believe that as well.
I'm going to see that. Yeah. So that's why.
When I was reading your bio, I didn't even realize my youngest daughter actually went there a couple of years ago and got to see a bunch of the orphan kids. And she got to understand a little bit about them and the water and the hiking and all of that. So she got to understand that a little bit. But when I read your bio, I didn't even realize until I was reading it. Oh my goodness. My youngest daughter went there 2 years ago, and she came back and she's like, Mom, you get a different perspective of life once you see the difference.
Yeah, we can make the difference. You are the difference. Everyone that's listening today, you are the difference. You can make the difference. So get up, like Bob Marley said, get up for your rights, because you are the difference. You know, all around the world, we could make a difference. Here, anywhere, make a difference in someone's life. I'm telling you, success, happiness, oh man, when you find yourself, it's so good. It's so good. You feel so good about giving. It's not about me. We can't help the poor by being one of them. But it's not about money with me. How much money do we need?
Exactly.
Let's give. Don't worry about it. Let's give, because you'll get. Because God, your Father, like in the Bible, it says, you ask not, so you get not. Do you understand? Seek and you shall find. Knock on the door will be open. We don't. Success is predictable, Liz. Do you know that?
It is.
You never see a bird that can't fly. You'll never see a fish that can't swim, because success is predictable. The iPhone that we use, it's a success. It has a manual. We read it to get success out the iPhone that we use. But the Bible, it's a book. If you read it, it will tell you everything you need to become who you need to become. Just believe, people. You can.
And I honestly believe that, because the connections that I've made during doing Teatime, I would not have met the people I've had on Teatime if it had not been for the good Lord above.
I'm having a podcast, by the way. I'm setting up a podcast as we speak. Going to launch it in 3 weeks. There's so many things going on. It's amazing. It's amazing. And life happens for you, people. You could do it. You could do it. You can do it. Don't never say you can't, because anything that comes never stays the same. You change it. You make the difference. Like Liz here. Love you, Liz.
Oh, I love you too, Morris. And I am so happy that I met you on Clubhouse, and I'm so happy that you took this opportunity to come and share your story. And this is what Teatime is. It's not a cup of tea. Yes, I drink my tea, but it is not about the tea at all. We make a difference because we teach, we educate, and we bring awareness to people's personal stories, their backstories. That's what Teatime is about. A lot of people think it's a cup of tea. I drink a cup of tea, but that has nothing to do with the beverage at all. It has to do with the personal stories, the personal differences that incredible everyday people like Morris is making out there.
A
And
great
Morris,
show.
I am truly, truly honored to have met you and to continue the journey, because it's just the beginning, you know. And we have some incredible viewers that are watching and leaving some incredible comments, and we have questions coming in. So, Morris, what did you learn about becoming a limo driver? Like, what is your most favorite story? What, like,
My favorite. I have many stories because I've driven some people. I've driven Maria Carey. I've driven a load of people. Kings of Leon. I've driven all of them. But stories ain't for sharing. But my experience in driving the limo, like I can remember driving Rihanna and Chris Brown when they were together, and everybody was saying, "Morris, did you speak to them?" I said, "What are you talking about? These two kids that are in my car, they were 19 at the time, and you're asking me, did I speak to them? They're human, right? What people don't realize,
exactly.
listen, I'm somebody, I believe in myself, I love myself. If I was a cake, I would eat myself because I have all the ingredients, the baking powder to rise every morning, and the ingredients of determination, desire, dedication, and the choices I make, and most importantly, the commitment. That's my ingredients. I love myself every morning when I wake up, I'm happy, right? So therefore, when I drive these people like Justin Bieber, the reason why they love me, like Justin and Whitney, all of them, Beyonce, all of them love me because I treat them the same. I
Yep.
speak to them. We talk about life. Do you understand? We talk about life. Just because they're famous doesn't mean they don't want to talk to you and I shouldn't talk to them. I don't feel that they're higher than me because we're all somebody.
Yep.
Do you understand? So we have great conversations. And I remember, what could I share with you? Could I share with you? What could I share with you? Because all different things happen. I mean, I don't really talk about it. I think Maria Carey was one because she was a bit of a diva back then. That was years ago. I drove her. She was, but they're all wonderful people anyway. They're all nice people. Do you know what I mean? Becoming, I didn't just become a limo driver like that. What happened? I was working for a company, and I specifically was driving a man that eventually he liked me and he took me away from the company of executive driving and said, Morris, I want you to come and work for me, specifically for me, because he liked me. That's the guy I was talking about in my story. He said, Morris, you're more than a driver.
Yeah.
He's seen in me that what I didn't see in me, but look at me now. He's seen that. And he was only about 28 years old. And I was about 30 something at the time, 30, 37. But he said, you're more than a driver, Morris. Come on, I want you to work. I was driving him for about 6 months. And he says, I want you to come and drive for me. And he started to take me to Lehman Brothers, Goldman and Sachs, all these big banking companies, and go in there, sit down with him, and all these speculators. He was a speculator. So I used to go in there. It was like Eddie Murphy, because before I was driving people and waiting outside, like him and other executive people. Now I was inside having tea and coffee.
See, so you do drink tea.
At that time I was drinking coffee to stay awake in the meetings that they used to have. Because I used to have to sit there for about 2-3 hours listening into them speculating about the companies that are on the stock exchange and things like that. So I used to go with him, and he used to let me come into the meetings with him. Then he was setting up a £1 billion hedge fund. And that's when I said, I could set up a company dealing with your staff. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say, people. There's people out there that can help you, right? You never know who can help you. You have to make the steps. And what I would say, when you make one step, God makes the next step. You make one step, God makes the next step, because he's got your back. And through that, that's how I was able to set up my sofa company, because I said to him, I could set up a company to deal with your staff. I never would have believed years ago that I could even have a company. I couldn't even get a job. Do you know what I mean? Much less set up a chauffeur company. But life happens for you, and things happen, and opportunities, time, and words that are spoken, we never get back. We have to be ready for it, people. And how do we get ready for it, people? By believing yourself and getting to know yourself. Because I fear nothing in this world, because God is for me. Who can be against me? I'm fearless. That's why my life's limitless. I go out there and I hunt like a lion and get what I want.
And I think that's what I like about you, Morris, is you're real. I like real, authentic people, you know, because you treat the celebrities like real people. And I say this all the time to my children. They are people too. Yes,
Yeah.
they might have a different title, they might have a different job, but they are people too. And
For
they
more
want to
money
be
than us,
treated like
for
human,
more
right?
money, but
With
money
more
doesn't
money.
matter. It doesn't matter. Are they happy? Like Whitney Houston, sorry to cut you, I drove Whitney Houston for 2 weeks on her tour. I was a fan of Whitney Houston from when I was young, but to see her go through her struggles was quite devastating. But one thing I want to share with you, my mum passed away when I was driving her. I had to rush to the hospital because they said she didn't have a time. And I dropped Whitney literally at Harley Street. And then I got a call from my brother saying I've got to drive to Northampton, which is 70 miles away, because mum ain't going to make it. So I left Whitney Houston there, got another driver, and another driver went and stood outside there for when she came out. And I drove to Northampton, and my mum was on her deathbed. And when I reached there, funny enough, my mum said, "Where have you been?" she said, because I was the last sibling to be there. She said, "Where have you been?" And held my hand. And then 4 hours later, she passed away. So she literally waited for me to come. And all the way I was driving up there, I was saying, please, God, don't let her go. I just want to hold her hand and speak to her for the last time. And I was able to reach there. And just imagine, I was so glad to reach there. She says, "Where have you been?" And when I came back after burying her and everything a couple of days later, it's like Whitney Houston said to me, "Maurice, I heard what's happened." And all the way to Birmingham, she was singing songs for me in the car. God bless her. You know, gospel songs. She was singing all the way. Do you know what I mean? But what I want to share, money isn't everything.
Exactly.
My life now is worth more than money. I don't worry about money. And that's the truth. I don't worry about money because I'm successful. Money just comes. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to worry about money. I love myself. People, you have to love yourself, because when you love yourself, then you're going out there and displaying that love to people. People will connect with you because you're connected to yourself. And I'm here to connect people to their self. So anybody that wants to connect with Boris the Connector, for me to switch on your light, connect with me. In my bio and my Instagram, there's a free program. If you just click in my bio and my Instagram, there's a free program. It's an accountability program for you to use in the every day you wake up. Have accountability. Write down something. Write down what you want to be. Have a vision. With vision comes focus. Do you understand? If you have no vision, you get lost. In the Bible, it says, when having no vision, people perish. The reason for that is because you can't see when you're going, you've got no direction. Do you understand? So having a vision is most important. Have a board on there with things that you want to do in your life. Do you understand? Because we've all got something that we want to do, people. Get up, do it, and do it, and do it. When do you stop doing it? Don't stop doing it until you get it. Get it. You can get it. You can do it.
So if anybody would like to reach Morris, I found Morris's website here, so I'm just going to bring it up. And you can reach him on all of these locations. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. He is reachable on all over the place. So if you want to check out, I have shared them in the comments below, that he has all of these incredible pages. So any final words before we close up Tea Time, Morris?
I just want to thank you. Most importantly, I've done a load of podcasts. I get asked to come on podcasts and things like that, telling my story, which is my glory, and I love it. You know, I do things for nothing. It's not about the money. Money comes, right? It's about sharing and inspiring people and showing people that there's no difference between me and them. It's only that I made it happen through my adversities and my catalyst. I decided to make the step, and God took the next step. I made a step, God took the step, and then I got to understand. I can see clearly now. There's a song called I Can See Clearly Now. But yeah, I can see clearly now. I've got clarity and vision. Do you know what I mean? Which is my direction. Do you know what I mean? And I know where I'm going. I know what I want to do. So my kids hate when I say this, by the way. I'm ready to move on to the next word anytime, because I know what I'm doing, you know, is the right thing nowadays in giving back. And that's what it's about, giving your love to people and sharing your love. That's the key to the door. That's the key to eternity. That's the key, you know? So have focus, people. The sun doesn't burn without focusing. And only with vision you get focus. So So that's what I want to say. That's just go and do what you need to do, people. I hope somebody could take something from my story, which is my glory, and make a start today, because that's the secret about getting ahead. Is starting today. We failed to plan, so we plan to fail. So have a plan, people, and all this comes together. All these ingredients that I was talking about, that's within me, is within you. Do you understand? Like I say, if I was a cake, I'll eat myself. I just love myself. Love
And what
yourself
kind of
first,
cake would you
people.
be there, Morris?
Say it again.
What kind of cake would you be?
I would be a Jamaican fruit cake. I
Oh
love
my
Jamaican
goodness.
cake. I love Jamaican cake. I'll be a Jamaican fruit cake. Honestly, I love Jamaican cake.
With a good old
Honestly,
ginger tea.
stop eating cake. Honestly.
And this is what it's about. These people that are coming on Tea Time, the guests that are coming on, they are incredible, everyday people who are making a difference. You make a difference. Your story can be heard. Reach out to me, Miss Liz. I will put you on, and you will get seen, and you will get heard. It is not about the money. It is about serving. I'm here to serve, to get you seen and get heard. And again, Morris, I am honored to know you as a person, and I know that our journey is just beginning, and I can't wait to see where you go and how this new journey and adventure that's coming your way will turn out. And if anybody would like to reach out to Morris, check out his website. Check out all of the incredible stuff that this man is doing. Check him out on Clubhouse. If you have Clubhouse, get on Clubhouse. Connect with Morris and that. So Morris, any other way that they can connect to you that I haven't brought up?
I have a room tomorrow at 9:30, Clubhouse. Focus and Believe in is called. Clubhouse, 1600 EST, 9:30 London time, GMT. And if anybody wants to connect with me, they could connect on my website. But I would say connect on my Instagram if you can, because you get a free Focus and Believe program, an accountability program. You get that free. So use it, people. We don't get nothing free in this world. That's what my mum used to say. You don't get nothing free. And I want to share with you, people. My mum used to call me a parrot when I was 7 years old, and I'm here getting paid for speaking. So listen to this, people. You all have a gift. You've got to find it. It's within you. Connect with yourself, or connect with me and other coaches and people who will make you bring it out. It's just about bringing it out. It's within you, okay? And it can become you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Morris. And thank you to all the viewers. And if you're going to watch the replay, all of these Tea Times are public. You can share them directly from my YouTube channel, and you can share them on any platform that YouTube does cover. So if I don't have it on a platform, don't be scared to share it, because these people that are coming into my tea room are amazing, incredible, everyday change makers, and they are making a difference. And that's what we do, is we make a difference one cup of tea at a time. And yes, I drink from the English little teacups, Morris, and I do make a difference because I believe, and I have friends like you. So again, thank you all for watching. And if you're watching a replay, put replay in. And if you're watching live, put that you watched live. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will send them to Morris directly. Thank you, Morris, for joining me for Tea Time.
I just also want to share this with the people, because going through it, I lost another son in 2018 when I was driving Justin Bieber. You know, Justin was saying to me, Morris, I want you to come to America and I want you to come and tell your story and everything like that. And I was saying, yes, Justin, I'll come and do it and everything like that. Then the day after he left, I was at home sitting down, because I told people, yes, I'm going to America. I was feeling so happy. I just want to share this with people to show them that no matter what, man, don't give in. Things can just happen. And then, somebody phoned me the next day saying, a woman saying, are you sitting down? Said your son was found dead in a flat. So it's 2 sons I've lost. Ashley in 2018. And that was the day after I was so happy. And Jiden Justin, he flew out after 2 weeks being there in 2018. And then the next day, I was told my son had passed away. Do you know what I mean? So that knocked me for 6. But what I'm trying to say to you, I just believe that God had taken him for a reason. And everybody that he has taken, we're not going to leave here alive, people. We're going to leave here one day, but it's what we do before we leave here. So that's what I want to leave you with as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Things will happen. We never know what they're going to happen. Like Les Brown says, if you get knocked down, make sure you land on your back. Because if you land on your back and you're looking up, then you can get up and stand up. And that's what I'm saying, people. We're going to get hit. We might get hit on the blind side sometimes. But guess what? It's how we deal with it that makes it happen for us. All right? So thank you, everyone, for listening. And I love you all. And any Clubhouse people here, I've got a room tomorrow that you could come. We could inspire each other as we do. Thank you.
Thank you again, Morris. And as you heard, he has a club tomorrow, so join it. I know I'm going to do my best if I get the time zone right.
True. That's true. 1630 EST.
Okay, I think I got that one now. Yeah, because I did have some issues with time zone, but I always have trouble with time zones. So again, thank you all to the viewers who are watching out there. And I will see you next week with a new tea time. I'm not sharing my tea times anymore until you check out the pages and check out what's coming, because I have different guests from around the world that are coming. I have people from Egypt coming. I have people coming from Rome, United States, Canada, Norway. I have incredible people coming on Tea Time. And all I'm doing is reaching out to the people, just like I did with Morris. So they're just serving as I am serving. So thank you. And I will see you next week for a new Tea Time.
Miss Liz, tea time, yeah, making a difference, one cup at a time, tea time, yeah, Miss Liz, tea time, yeah, making a difference, one cup at a time, tea time, yeah. So be sure to grab your tea, grab a seat, and tune in to Miss Liz, tea time, making a difference, one cup at a time.